Hi friends, welcome back to our channel Total-QA. In today's video, we're going to discuss about how are we going to use parameters in TestNG framework. Especially if you look at the goal of Selenium, the main goal of Selenium is to achieve cross-testing against multiple browsers. We even call this as cross-browser testing. How are we going to achieve cross-browser testing in Selenium? To achieve cross-browser testing in Selenium, we're going to integrate Selenium with the TestNG framework. And it means we can test the web application on multiple browsers such as Firefox, Chrome, IE. So if you would like to execute the test cases on multiple browsers like IE, Firefox and Chrome, do we need to create 3 different programs? No, not required. So what we are going to do right now is, our objective is to write a class that should run on multiple browsers. We don't need to write 3 programs for 3 browsers. We write one program that should run on multiple browsers so that we can achieve cross-browser testing. So what is the annotation required to access the parameter values from the XML file to the Java program is @parameters. In TestNG, there are so many annotations available. One of the annotation is @parameters. This will help us to read the parameter values from the XML file and pass it to the Java program which we are going to create to execute the test cases. So first thing, we create a Java class, public class, class name, and we create a @parameters, which is an annotation available in TestNG. This will take array of values. Array of values. First value is browser type. Second value is URL. And we are going to associate @parameters, and this is an array. This array has to be enclosed within the parenthesis. So this is very important to associate @parameters before we go ahead and start writing the method. The next thing, before test. What is the advantage of before test? Before test will help us to execute this before test configuration before executing any test cases in this class. Before executing any test cases in this class, we mark it as before test. It's a precondition and mainly it's a configuration annotation. And there is a method invoke browser which takes 2 parameters, browser type, URL. One important point, the name of the parameter should be same as the argument name. It is easy to resolve any confusion. If you wanted to avoid any kind of confusion for the parameter name and the arguments, always make sure we provide the same name. You can provide any name here, but the good practice is always we need to map. Okay, there is a argument, there is a parameter we are passing. Definitely there is a matching argument. Here we are passing one, here we have one more. Suppose second one is URL, we are putting the same name for the argument as well. And one more thing, in the program also we have to use same name one place and similarly URL one place. If you count totally, there are 3 places where we have to follow. One place is at the annotation level. One place is at the method level. One place is within the method. The body of the method also we have to provide the same name. If you follow this rule, it's easy to avoid any kind of mistakes while writing the program in @parameters to achieve parameterization. Now let's get into the program. We created WebDriver driver and we are taking browser type dot equals to Firefox. But this browser type we have to pass the value. This value is passed via an XML file. In the XML file, we are making a note of parameter name value. And one more point, this name is same name, the key, the name value should be the same we have to use in our program, and the value is CH. So here in the program, when we say browser type dot equals, we are checking whether it is equal to Firefox. Then we say driver is equal to new Firefox driver, else driver is equal to new IE driver, else driver is equal to new Chrome driver. Then after completing these conditional statements, you are going to launch the browser. This is a before test. Before executing any of the test cases, here there is a test case and it is trying to execute this. So we are going to achieve cross-browser testing using @parameters in testng. We are going to write the same program now. Let me go to Eclipse now. I am going to create the same program now. @parameters test. Copy the same class name, parameterized test. And we don't select public static void main because testng programs doesn't require a main method. Just click on finish. It takes some time. Finally, it created the Java class. In the Java class, first we are going to write a method public void invoke browser. Invoke browser. Then we are going to write @parameters. @parameters. How many parameters we need? We have to put in the curly braces. What are all the parameters we require? We have to start and keep it within the curly braces. Let me try to import a specific statement for parameters. So here we have two options. One is com.views.j commander. One more option is for org.testng.annotations. Let's select this. And in the curly braces, we are passing two different values. One is URL. The second one is the browser type. And these two parameters we have to pass as two arguments, string URL, then string browser type. So whenever we maintain the parameter name, it's a good practice to maintain the same name for the arguments also to avoid confusion. Now we write a conditional statement. What is a conditional statement? If browser type dot equals, it's a string, we are comparing two strings, equal to ch, then we are going to create a Chrome browser. We are going to launch a Chrome browser. For that, what we do? First we say WebDriver as a global variable. WebDriver as a global variable, and we can import WebDriver. Now driver equal to new Chrome driver. Then also import for Chrome driver class. Then next point, else if browser type dot equals to Firefox, driver equal to new Firefox driver. Then you have to import for the Firefox driver class. Let me expand. It's easy for us. Then else driver equal to new Internet Explorer driver. This also we need to import. But not only that, before we try to launch the browser, we need to set the executable file. To avoid that, use WebDriver manager dot Chrome driver dot setup. This is for Chrome. Similarly, WebDriver driver manager dot Firefox driver dot setup. This is on Firefox. Similarly on IE, WebDriver manager dot IE driver dot setup. So we are able to do the necessary configuration setup for launching the Chrome browser. Similarly for Firefox, then IE browser. Now after that, after completing these conditional statements, in the end we can say driver dot get URL. Now one important point here is we have to mark this method as before test or before class. Any one of them is fine. The objective is before we execute any of the test cases within the program, we are going to invoke this browser method. So better we have to add either before test or before class. Right now we are adding before test here. An important point here is this invoke browser method will not execute if we don't add a single test case within the program. So before test will invoke only if we have one @test method available within the class. So validate login, validate title. Now here @test we try to import. Then what is expected? Our expected value is say Google, and string actual we get driver dot get title, then asset dot asset equals actual comma expected. One more important point, if we are getting the URL and we are directly using the URL here as a string, you are not going to use the contents of the string. If we are focusing on the contents of the string, we have to give the parameter not within the double quotes. So this is not right. If you are putting this, this is not valid. So the valid value is driver.get URL. Within the parenthesis, you just need to pass the parameter name, not within the double quotes. So this is how you write the program and keep it ready. But if you would like to invoke this program, we need an XML file. So how are we going to create an XML file here? Right click on the program, then select testng, select convert to testng. Here this XML file is getting created within this project, and this is the XML file name, and this is the content of the XML. It will generate automatically. Okay, now let's click on finish. Now once we click on finish, it creates an XML file. Double click on the XML file and I keep it in the right hand side to understand how many parameters we need to add. If you look at here, we need to add 2 parameters. So here I'll add here parameter name equal to, again I need to maintain the same name here, then value is equal to say https www.google.com. Similarly, I maintain parameter name is equal to copy. It's always a good practice to copy and put the same information here. Then the value is equal to, say, first we would like to execute on Chrome. So this test is mainly for Chrome browser. Then we can replicate this entire test again, Ctrl C, put it here, but we will change here as Firefox browser. This test is mainly for Firefox. We are putting here Firefox. Similarly, again we copy this, we keep it here, then we will try to pass the parameter values for IE. I'll mark it as IE. Then I put the test name as Internet Explorer browser. And very important point, before we execute this program at the suite level, it is a good practice to add verbose equal to 5. So we can see the logs. When we execute the program, we can see the logs and see how it is getting executed, how many test cases pass, how many test cases fail. If you look at in this program, there are totally 3 different test cases, but it looks only one test case. But when you execute the program, there are totally 3. One will execute on Chrome, one will execute on Firefox, one will execute on IE. But what is the difference here? The same class name, but the difference is the browser type. So now let me execute the program. Right click on the testng.xml file, run as testng suite. Okay, once we execute the program, we get the results. Let me show the results now. The results are, it executed successfully on Chrome browser. This is mainly for Chrome browser. And after that, it executed successfully on Firefox browser. Then after that, it executed successfully on the Internet Explorer browser. Then it executed totally 3 test cases, and all the 3 test cases are successful. We can see the results. If you wanted to see the results, select the project, right click, then refresh the project. You will find a test output folder getting generated. Expand this. Just select index.html, right click on index.html and open with web browser. And we can see the methods, and we can see the chronological view, the order of execution. First it executed for, let me maximize this. First it executed on Chrome. Then I can open this also outside of this Eclipse IDE. I just open Chrome browser. I'll put this entire URL to open the testng reports in a browser. So yes, then chronological view, this is how it has been executed. First is invoke browser for Chrome. It took this much time. Then Firefox, then IE. If you look at all these 3 methods, they executed in sequence. Not in parallel mode. We are going to discuss how we execute the test cases or the methods or the classes parallelly in a separate video. But in this video, just focus on how are we going to use at the right parameters only. And they execute in sequence. And similarly, we have emailable report. So let me try to open emailable report here. Right click, open with web browser, copy this URL, then put this URL here. And see here, it is able to successfully execute on Chrome browser, Firefox browser, IE browser. Now, next scenario. This is useful for us to achieve cross-browser testing. We are able to execute successfully on different browsers. Now, next scenario. Scenario 2. Scenario 2. Suppose we have 2 different methods, 2 different test cases, at the rate test methods available in a Java class. Can I pass different parameter values for different test methods? Means I have, say, public void m1 and I have public void m2. This method m1 requires one parameter, say m1 is one of the parameter required by method m1. Similarly, there is one more parameter requires for method m2. So how are we going to achieve this? So in order to achieve this, we have to create a testng XML file such a way that we should be having different tests in the suit.xml file. Let's try to implement this in the program. Let me create a program now. We just add one more program here. New class, say methods, parameterized methods, test example for scenario 2. So for this scenario, we are going to write two methods m1, m2. Public void m1, public void m2, and here we are going to put @test, this also @test. But what is important here is m1 requires a specific parameter, m2 requires a specific parameter. Okay, so how are we going to achieve this? So here, let's take, okay, to make it simple, let's take login. Let's take validate message, validate login message. So here we need, for login, we need two parameters like username and password to log in. Here we can pass string username, string password. We can associate this, and we are going to import this statement. And for the validate login message, suppose if you would like to maintain the successful message in the testng.xml file, we can mention here. So login message, expected login message, and we can even take string expected login message. Now, how are we going to maintain? Okay, let me copy this and put it here. So, how are we going to maintain these three parameters in the XML file? Because this method requires username and password. This method requires expected login message. So, how do we maintain this in the XML file? So, one important point here is, in the case of testng.xml file, you can take any set of parameters which are required for this method to execute. You don't require to create different tests within the suit. What we can do here is, let me try to create an XML file. Right click on the program, then select testng, convert to testng, and the class name is not shown here. Let me try to add the program again. Select the program, right click on the program, then select testng, convert to testng. Okay, the class name is not coming. Okay, it's okay. We can add it afterwards also. Click on finish. It's already having one XML file already available. Just try to put one testng.xml. Instead of that, we will put testng1.xml file. Just click on finish. So now, in this testng1.xml file, we maintain the information as, say, class name equal to, say, the package dot the class name parameterized test scenario 2. So we maintain the class name. It's also good practice to copy this and paste it here. Instead of we type it, paste it, just try to mark the class, and within mark the class and close the class tag. That's sufficient. We can close the class tag. How are we going to close the class tag? You can just remove this, try to put this information. Now the point here is, there are two methods. These two methods requires different parameters. It's not an issue. You can maintain parameter name is equal to, say, username and username value. Similarly, parameter name equal to password value. Similarly, name is equal to expected login message, then value. So what is the important point here is, even though we have three parameters in this program, we are using two parameters for one method and single parameter for another method. So it will not cause any error in TestNG, even though we declared three parameters in the XML file. We can give two parameters for one method, one parameter for one method based upon the requirement. It will not cause any issues in the program. So you can try this. You can get the results with this program, even though if you pass two parameters here and one parameter here. Okay, so this is mainly about TestNG @parameters annotation. The main objective of executing tests against multiple browsers has been achieved, and we have seen already how are we going to achieve cross-browser testing in Selenium. So if you like my video, please subscribe and share. Thank you for watching.